How much do I sell my course for? This is a common question that we often get asked, where people have built a course, but they're just not sure what price to put on the course. Do they go low or high? There's a few things to consider, and we'll look at those in this video. Hi, I'm Matthew Mason, founder and Chief Learning Architect at Superb Learning. We help coaches, facilitators and consultants take the knowledge out of their head and turn it into digital learning products that's going to give them profitability, scalability and impact. So when you build a course, obviously one of the things you consider is the price. And there's a number of factors to consider that. And we look at these as part of our pricing model. We look at, well, what's the profit? What's the profit you want? What is the reward? What are the results that you're providing as part of that course? What is your involvement? What is the course length? And also, what's your experience? Or what is the perceived experience? What's the value that you provide, your expertise in the market? A number of factors there to consider. But the first one is really around the profit. And this is where we step into our profit model and looking at, well, what is the profit that you want to make out of this course? Now that can be a profit per week, per month, per annum, but that is where we start, starting with the end in mind. So let's have a look at how this model can work. So the first thing is, as I said, we want to start with the end in mind. So we look at what is our income goal. We add to that our expenses. So what are the expenses that cost us to build the course, and maybe they're proportioned over time. That is then going to give us our target. So we might start with an income goal of 10,000, then have our expenses of 2,000, which gives us a target of $12,000. Okay. Now the second step is really around understanding your metrics. Now, if you're new and you haven't sold a course before, then you may not really have a good grasp on your metrics. And we've got some figures there that we can provide you in our template, which I'll share with you later, around what those metrics are. But to understand your metrics, you need to understand what your sales are, what your leads are, and from that you can create your sales to lead conversion ratio. So if your sales are 10, your leads are 500, then you're going to end up with a sales to lead conversion of 2%. From that, we then want to work out what is our lead to reach conversion. So we take our leads, divide that by the number of people that we've reached to get those leads to give us our lead to reach conversion ratio. So for example, 500 leads, and that came from a reach where we're reaching 5,000 people, gives us our lead to reach conversion ratio of 10%. So then we need to look at, well, what's the price estimate that we're going to calculate? And what are the sales that we're going to get from that? So we look at what is our target. We divide our target by our proposed price. And that is going to then tell us the number of sales that we need to hit. So for example, our target we said was 12,000. We're going to say, put the course at a proposed price of $100. Tells us that we've got sales required of 120 sales that we need. So from that, combine that with our metrics, we can calculate the leads and reach required. So we take, so it's 100 divided by our sales to lead conversion ratio times by the number of sales required. That is going to give us the leads that we require. We then take 100 divided by our lead to reach conversion ratio, times that by the number of leads required, and that is going to provide us with the reach that is required. So looking at our example, we know that our sales required is 120. We know our sales to lead conversion ratio is 2, so that means we need 6,000 leads. Okay. We know our lead to reach conversion ratio is 10. We know our leads required is 6,000, so that means that to sell that course, we need to reach 60,000 people. Another example, okay, what happens if we increase the price? Okay, so our proposed price $1,500, we then need 8 sales required. Now, obviously as we increase the price, the sales to lead conversion ratio is going to drop. Okay, so it's probably going to drop to around 1% for a $1,500 course. Number of sales required is going to be 8, so that gives us our 800 leads required. Based off our 10% lead to reach conversion ratio, we're going to need, and our 800 leads, we need to reach 8,000 people. Okay, so there you go. You can see how we can use the pricing model to work out the price that we're going to set for our course based on our income goal. But it also then gives us an indication on what sort of marketing we need to put in place. So obviously you might look at it and go, $100 course, sell a cheap course, that's great. But it actually means that you need to reach more people based on your income goal. Whereas if you increase the price, we're going from a $1,500 course, we actually only need to reach 8 people. The other thing with that as well is that we just use some average conversion rates based on our own research. Now, your conversion rates may differ. So if you've got a lot of influence in the industry, if you've got a solution that people really want or need, and you've got a great brand as well, or all of these things put together, then your conversion rate is going to be higher and some of those figures will change. Now, you've probably looked at that and gone, there's a lot of calculations there, it's all a bit too complex. Well, we've got our free pricing model template to give away. So if you're interested, just put a note in the chat below. We'll send you the template. That's got all of the calculations in it. You just have to put in the key information and the template will calculate the figures for you.